Yeah, hi there, Scott here from Thrive After 50. This is part 3 of removing processed foods to help get your energy back. So if you're over 50, let me ask you one thing. Do you remember what real food used to taste like? When dinner didn't come in a plastic tray, when your parents cooked real meals. I remember that. It was so good. When hardly anyone talked about brain fog. 25 years ago, we weren't tired, we weren't stiff and sore. As today now it's pretty common to be stiff and sore. We didn't see this level of anxiety and disease everywhere. But today, energy is low. Weight gain is pretty much common. There's more and more people overweight. Mental health is skyrocketing, right? You hear that all the time. Lots of pills out there. You're not imagining all this. Something's changed. And we all grew up in a different food world. There's fewer chemicals, fewer ultra processed foods. Less seed oils. Seed oils are everywhere. Same with ultra processed foods. There's less sugar nowadays, or more sugar nowadays. And chemical sugars. More home cooking back then, and now there's so many ingredients out there you can't even produce or pronounce. Foods engineered in labs that last forever. Marketing over health, right? My friend would always say, healthcare for profits. The food supply nowadays has changed, and our bodies are paying the price. I used to think, more supplements always would motivate me, and more discipline. But when I look closer, it was the ingredients that I was putting in my body. It was all the processed foods. So when I stopped eating all these, or slowly started to stop or change my diet, I realized I started, less snack foods, less sugars. The bread, remove some bread. There's lots of chemicals in bread, and fast food is crazy. My energy, started to stabilize, and my brain fog lifted. I don't, my craving stopped, my sleep improved, I lost a bunch of weight. I started to feel really energetic again. So what I realized was we don't need a complicated diet. We just need to start eating better. We need to, start removing the things that make us feel like crap, like all the foods with processed foods. So, try this out for 14 days. Remove foods with long ingredients. They're full of chemicals. Remove industrial seed oils, ultra processed convenient foods. Get those out of your diet. Try to eat 100% grass-fed beef, eggs, vegetables, real fruit, real food, simple whole foods with one ingredient, or with ingredients with or ingredients with one or two ingredients on the label. So foods with less and less chemicals. So what happens if you start eating better? You start your inflammation drops, your blood sugar, your energy returns. You have way more energy. Your production. You want to do more things. You just don't feel better. You just you feel clearer. Your mind's more focused. You have more energy to do stuff. That's transformation, right? If you start feeling better and you have more energy, you'll start to feel better and get things done. So you're not old or not tired because you're old. You're tired because of all the chemicals that you've put in your body, right? You think about it, your body has a hard time producing these foods, or processing these foods. So it just takes up a ton of energy. So for 14 days, if you can try removing all these foods from your diet, and keep track of how you feel and you sleep and your mental clarity and how much energy you have. You don't need another pill. You just need, the way you put, better foods in your body. So join us. There's a link in the description if you'd like to find more about reclaiming your energy and your drive and momentum. So the link's in the description, and if you would like to find more out, if you'd like to find out some more information, if you like this video, be sure to like it and subscribe.